Not all predictions are created equal.
Let's talk about that. Good Mythical Morning.
Predicting the future is not easy. You know why? Because the future hasn't happened yet. But there it is again. There's the future. Welcome to the future. But the thing is that it's difficult to predict because there's so many factors. So trying to make an accurate prediction is risky business.
In fact, take Steve Chen, co-founder of YouTube, back in 2005. He questioned the future of YouTube by saying, there's just not that many videos I want to watch.
I mean, come on, there's not.
Clearly, he did not understand the power of Family Feud bloopers, Russian dash cam footage, and good Mythical Morning!
Here's the thing, if you make a bold prediction and you're right, you look awesome.
Yeah.
But if you make a bold prediction and you get it wrong, then two guys on the internet end up talking about you on a show called Good Mythical Morning.
Let's do that!
Okay, we're gonna start with one made in 1913. This prediction was, this is 1913 at the beginning of the silent film era.
Of course.
It was said that cinema is little more than a fad. Guess who said that, Link?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No.
As an infant, no.
No, he wouldn't have been
Wasn't born.
alive. Charlie Chaplin. You may have heard of him.
The irony.
At the time, he was a struggling actor. He told one of his colleagues at the studio he was working at, he says, I'm thinking about getting out of the business. I don't know what Charlie Chaplin talked like.
Well, silent films.
He talked silently. He said getting out of the business, I'm getting out of the business because cinema is a little more than a fad. Well, you all know that it wasn't a fad. He went on to have an amazing career as an actor and a filmmaker, 60 years. But I will point out that I am glad that the silent part was a fad.
Point it out.
Because
Point it out, brother.
I recently got this amazing sound system installed at my home, and we have not watched one silent movie
film
yet. Because silent films, you can't hear them. And I'm not into that.
Well, there's music. There is music, but it's added later. You've never watched a silent film, clearly. They just don't, there's no dialogue.
I like
It's added with
sound
text.
effects.
Lord Kelvin, the British
yes.
mathematician and physicist who confirmed the existence of absolute zero. In fact, the measurement of temperature known as Kelvin was named after this dude.
I've heard of that.
Everything he says has to be true, right? I don't know. In 1895, he confidently stated, X-rays will prove to be a hoax.
I think he's right about that. I've never trusted an
No,
X-ray.
he was extra wrong about that. He also was he was full of iffy predictions. He also said, radio has no future.
True.
Heavier than air flying machines are impossible.
I've always thought that.
And the Apple Watch is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
You made that last one.
I made up the last one.
Every time I'm in a plane, I'm like, this is impossible. Think about it.
I would have never predicted this.
It's gotta be magic.
Give me another one.
Okay, in 1950, the Associated Press predicted that by the year 2000, women would be, quote, more than 6 feet tall, wear a size 11 shoe, have shoulders like a wrestler, and muscles like a truck driver.
Giant women in the year 2000?
Let me point out, though, I did a Google image search of truck drivers, and there's not a lot of muscle happening. Maybe back in the 50s, they were a muscly bunch, but they're a little pudgy. And I think they're known not for their muscles, but their hemorrhoids at this point. But just set that aside for a second. They thought that women were going to be very large. In fact, there was an illustration here, and you can see it was like they were,
They moved from being like Victorian
interpolating
into like Xena warrior princess meets Princess Leia.
Basically, they were looking at what had happened to women between 1900 and 1950, and just like anybody, they were like, well, they went from size 3 to size 7 shoes. Heck, it's got to be size 11. They also said that women, instead of eating meals, would be eating food capsules by the year 2000.
Food capsules make large warrior women.
But don't you remember that? 2000 was the year of the food capsule. My wife was all about it.
And the women got
nothing but food capsules.
Women turned into warriors, and then they got smaller over the last
and then
couple of
Y2K
decades.
didn't happen, and she went back to eating regular food.
I do remember that. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard of Sir William Preece, chief engineer of the British Post Office in the late 1800s.
Haven't heard of him.
In 1876, I'm sure you've heard of his quote.
Oh, okay.
He predicted, the Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys.
Oh, yeah, those messenger boys. They're very convenient.
Yeah, my understanding is that they would have boy humans who would deliver messages.
Boy, humans.
And what I'm trying to tell you is that he predicted that that was good enough for them on their side of the
maybe
pond.
Maybe it was. You don't know. It's smaller. It's an island country.
Just imagine delivering text messages via Messenger Boy.
Tell him LOL. I'm a messenger boy. I'm sorry. I'm just conveying a message.
But like, deliver this poop emoji.
Oh.
It's like, if you see a messenger boy squatting at your front door, don't open it.
You only get 3 poop emojis a day for your typical messenger boy.
In a truly ironic twist, Priest is actually credited with helping to bring the telephone system to Great Britain only a few years later. So
thanks, Priest.
He had to eat his words.
Okay, how about this?
It tasted like poop emoji.
In the early 1960s, Newsweek said in a piece predicting the most popular holiday destinations of the late 1960s.
Newsweek, this is reputable. They got their stuff together.
They said, quote, and for the tourist who really wants to get away from it all, safaris in Vietnam.
Ooh.
But they probably said Vietnam because it was the early 60s.
And timing is everything, and that wasn't a good time right after that.
You may have heard of a little thing called the Vietnam War, which happened, actually we sent troops over there in 1965. So kind of the late 60s, not a good time to be in Vietnam. But it's interesting, one of the resorts that was prepared to receive tourists actually had to change its brochure to read, today's omelet features hearts of napalm and comes complete with a fresh pressed glass of Agent Orange.
Don't drink that! Don't drink the Agent Orange.
I made that up.
Okay, up next.
Not a real brochure.
We've got Confederate soldier, botanist, and explorer of the Colorado River, Joseph Christmas Ives. And this dude's middle name is the most festive thing about this guy. Listen, in 1861, he explored the Grand Canyon, okay?
Okay, that was a good trip.
And he stated, ours has been the first and will doubtless be the last expedition to visit this profitless locality. It seems intended by nature that the Colorado River shall be forever unvisited and undisturbed. No one will want to visit the Grand Canyon?
How does that happen?
More than 5 million people visit the Grand Canyon every year, and that's not counting donkeys.
5 million or so, give or take. I mean,
what?
It's not that interesting.
What happened, Joe Christmas? You got like your walking stick up your butt or something?
What?
Come on. You know how explorers will like get their walking stick up the butt by accident?
Yeah, that happens to me every time I go to the Grand Canyon.
Whenever I would be in a bad mood, my mom would say, what, you got a corn cob stuck up your butt?
Oh, really?
That's where I'm,
okay.
That's where I was.
You probably should have kept that
That's where I was going with that. What, you got a walking stick stuck? Never mind.
Here's to you, Joe Christmas.
Joe Christmas.
And the walking stick up your butt. Okay, here's what we want to do now. Given the fact that we've just talked about these hilariously wrong predictions in 2015, we're thinking about the future and the fact that we want to be mentioned for making some hilariously wrong predictions on the GMM of the future. I don't know who's going to be hosting it, but we're talking like the year 2100, we'll be dead.
Not me.
So in the name of hilariously bad predictions that will be recollected upon in the future, we are going to make some horrible predictions right now.
You first.
In the year 2075, all guys with hair that goes up will have a robotic third arm for doing this.
Robotic third arm.
It's going to be awesome.
By the year 2099, all human language will sound like this.
What'd you just say?
I just said the prediction in the language so that in the future they would understand that I was correct.
Smart, you're smart. In the year 2084, alien life will land on Earth. Fortunately, they'll be completely allergic to water and therefore harmless, and incredibly dumb for landing on a planet that was 75% water.
Isn't that the plot of M. Night Shyamalan's movie Signs?
Shama who?
Shyamalama?
Shamalama Ding Dong? Yeah. It is, actually. Sorry, I totally forgot. That might be the case.
I'm ready to give my prediction. I'm over here at my prediction camp. 2 weeks from now, Rhett will find a parasitic twin living inside his left butt cheek. He will name it Karen.
Look forward to meeting you, Karen.
You should be looking down
there.
It'll be
a woman?
She's already down there.
I'm waiting until she pops out to introduce myself to her.
Oh, she doesn't pop out. There's an X-ray, which is not a hoax.
In 2016, no one in Florida will do anything stupid.
I love you, Florida. I predict that within the next minute, you will click like and comment on this video.
Oh, snap! You know what time it is.
I'm Bert.
And I'm Charlie.
And we're moving from Pleasant Grove, Utah.
To our new home in Toronto.
And it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Remember, our hoverboard t-shirt is available exclusively at rhettlink.com/store.
I have one right here. I'm
up until the date on the shirt, October 21st, 2015.
Click through to Go Mythical More. We're going to go to the joy of a website called futuretimeline.net to learn what's going to happen in the future.
This just in, Elvis found sunbathing in Minnesota.
What a perfect place to sunbathe, am I right?
Bob? We're getting an update. It seems that his skin has not changed at all. Still very pasty, very white.
It's frigid up there. It's a heck of a place to get in your skivvies and get some vitamin D.
Hold on, now he's reaching for a peanut butter, mayonnaise, and banana sandwich. That's interesting.
It's also frozen. Lots of shrinkage everywhere.
Okay. Back to...
I'm being told there's a walking stick up his butt.
Did you just say shrinkage? That's happening right now. Have you seen the kids these days and the music they're listening to? This is the degenerate era of the universe right now.
Bunch of degenerates!